And welcome to the Coach's Corner post-game show with the Charlotte Bobcats. Tonight, big game. Time Warner Arena, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Kevin Durant and company come to town, put on a big show, but the Bobcats were right there step for step with them. McRoberts for three with 3 seconds to go for the win. Didn't go down.
Yeah, it sure didn't, Dick. But it was a really good game, competitive game, on a night when Kevin Durant really struggled for about 90% of the game, up until the fourth quarter at least. You know, you could say Bobcats had a great chance to win this basketball game as they were in it the whole way, and got a real good look at a three to win the game. It just didn't go down.
And Ken, one thing we were sitting there and we talked about this a few minutes ago about what's it going to take to get the Bobcats over the hump. But you look, the games that we've seen, Steph Curry almost brings his team back single-handed for 43. Bobcats hang on and win. Kobe Bryant, big fourth quarter, Lakers come from behind and win. Kevin Durant, big fourth quarter. The Bobcats do not have that big player like that can take a team on their shoulders in the fourth quarter. They had 4 guys in double figures. Good team effort, though. But, you know, I think that's a big difference. They don't really have a go-to guy.
Yeah, that's true, and that's a true luxury in this league. And not every team has a Kevin Durant or a Kobe Bryant in his prime, or one of those guys who really can take over down the stretch. Like I said, Kevin Durant struggled a lot tonight. He had 34, but it was on probably about 42% shooting for the night. So
he actually was 50%.
No, he
was 14 out of 28 from the floor.
At one time he was 9 for 20, and I was kind of shocked he had only taken
fourth quarter was
shots.
huge.
Yeah. You know, in a night, very first night that Russell Westbrook does not play because of another knee injury, and you also get the backup point guard Reggie Jackson, who's a heck of a ball player, but did not have a good game tonight. Did not shoot the ball well, and so. But I mean, Durant got going late, and that's what superstars do. I mean, you know, you'll run into games where he's even going to be off late, but not many of them. But it's really a true testament to him and also to his teammates that they know that when they need a big bucket or 2 or 3 down the stretch, Durant provides that. He only missed 1 shot, I believe, in the fourth quarter, and by the time he did that, he had done his damage. He had 14 in the fourth, I believe, and ended up with 34 on a night when his jump shot would have been going. He would have gone for 50. There's no doubt in my mind. So, you know, golden opportunity for the Bobcats. Maybe next time, you know, they find a way to win a game like this, but that is a luxury that the real good teams have in somebody like Durant who can score the ball late in the basketball game.
And again, we say he had 14 in the fourth quarter. He got 2 easy baskets, but we're talking around fadeaway, step backs, men in his face. You could not defend him any better, but to his credit, he's a big-time pro who knocked down the big-time shots.
Well, yeah, he's a big-time pro to the point of, in my opinion, the best offensive player in the game. I mean, most people agree that LeBron is the best overall player in the game, and Durant has gotten a lot better defensively. Now, is he on LeBron's level? I'm not saying that, but overall, he is a great, great player. There's no question about it. Offensively, I think he's the best in the game right now, and maybe a true hybrid that we've never seen the likes of. The guy is 6'10 and a half, flat-footed, has a wingspan of about 7'3" or 4, and really has a lot of skills on the perimeter. So he's just impossible to stop. But when he just gets it going like that late, Dick, the Bobcats playing very good defense. They're a very good defensive team. But when a guy that talented gets it going, there's almost nothing you can do.
I love Coach Clifford as a coach, what he had to say about the game tonight, that he didn't think the team played well. He didn't think they prepared well. The things that they talked about in pregame meetings, shoot around and all, the keys to the game, he said they didn't do tonight, though. A lot of people would have looked at this as being a good defensive performance, but he was not pleased, and I like the way he's honest and to the point. He's my kind of coach.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward, because you can't kid yourself at this level. You know, if you don't have real good practices or shoot-arounds or whatever the case may be, and it results in some facets of the game not going well, you're not going to beat a real good team like this. And there's several good teams in this league, I mean, even for this league. And when Oklahoma City comes in here, even not on their A game, then they're very difficult to beat unless you're really on top of every facet of your game.
Again, we had a chance to talk to several players. My favorite player, Josh McRoberts, right there. We talked a little bit with him about going on the road right now, though. And, you know, sometimes I think it's easier, and this team that the communications department was telling us they've already matched the number of wins they had the whole season on the road right now, though. But sometimes when you go on the road and you got your teammates and you don't have to worry about taking care of kids at home and you don't have to worry about the honey-do list and stuff like that, you can be better focused. This team has played good on the road. This is a key West Coast swing coming up. I think they'll do well.
Yeah, I hope so. And, you know, that's they pay these guys well enough to where their wives and girlfriends can take care of things at home. So, I mean, you know, and you're right. There's a lot to be said for going on the road. It's tough. And, you know, your first couple of games out, you're probably going to perform, at least physically, better than you would at, you know, game 3, 4, and 5 on a road trip like the Bobcats are going to go on right now. But there is a lot to be said for going on the road, gelling with your teammates, getting to know your teammates and your coaches better, and just finding out how to conduct yourself on the road, but also to get some wins. And, you know, you got veterans like Al Jefferson, like guys like that who have been around a little bit, and mature young guys, you can get that done. So hopefully the Bobcats will win at least 2 or 3 on the road and have a good road trip.
Looking again at the stat sheet tonight, the 3 position is killing the Bobcats production right now. I think they got 6 points, maybe 3 points. I'm not sure what it was. 3 or 6 out of the 3 position tonight, though. You know, we've heard trade rumors. Do they pull the trigger on making a trade to bring in? You know, if you do that, Dustin made a good point. You don't have a backup post player to back up Al, though. But do you bring somebody else in for scoring?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, it's tough. It's not an easy business to conduct. I mean, you know, they do have the right people in pulling the trigger. I believe Jordan made a great hire when he hired Cho, and I think he's done some great things. But yeah, you've got to continue to make progress. You got to continue to make the right trades, pull the right trigger, and all that. And you have to look at what your basketball team needs. And now, you know, as good as they are defensively, the Bobcats lack scoring punch at times. And a guy like Jeffrey Taylor, who went out about a week and a half ago, I think it is, he's a heck of a player. He's a very underrated player in this league. Not only is he a very good defensive player, but also scores the ball real well. Not only around the basket, but he shoots it. So he's a very good all-around player. You lose somebody like that, there's your scoring at the 3 spot right there. Didn't get a whole bunch out of Ben Gordon tonight, you know, when he's either playing the 2 or the 3, and who's a proven scorer and shooter in this league. So when that happens and you struggle scoring the ball from the 3 spot, especially if your other guys aren't really going that well, it's kind of tough to overcome.
Again, got to bounce back tomorrow night, play the Hawks. It's a team that's kind of been a thorn in the side of the Bobcats. So a back-to-back night. Kimball played a lot of minutes tonight. Several players played a lot of minutes tonight, though. But, you know, this is a game that they got a chance to win if they can take the mistakes, correct the mistakes right there, though. But, you know, I think it's important they go down to Atlanta and try to get a win to get the road trip started.
Yeah, well, there's no question. You always want to get started off well, especially when the fatigue factor hasn't set in yet, because life on the road in the NBA is tough. You know, you're in and out of airports. You got a lot of time in hotels. You're away from your family and all that. So even though it can be good in a lot of senses, you know, it gets not only lonely but hard, you know, when you're on your 3rd game, 4th game, 5th game. Those things you kind of want to get home. That's when you got to really rise up and show you're a pro and, you know, learn how to win games. So yeah, getting a good early start down in Atlanta, the easiest part of your road trip, not competition wise, because the Hawks have a lot of good players. There's no question. They can come together and they can win games. So it will be an important game tomorrow night. You need to get a win tomorrow night.
And it will be important too. Al Halford out of the lineup now with the Hawks, that he may be right. He may be lost for majority of the season now with a big-time injury. That'll be a definite plus right there, though. But, again, this team, I know it's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for the fans. It seems like every time they got a home game with a chance to get back to 500, they suffer a tough loss. And, again, this team's exciting to win. It goes right down to the final place.
Yeah, there's no question. And it's a young team still, Dick. They're just learning. I really think there's a lot to be said in this league for learning how to win. You look at all the champions, team-wise and individually, and all of them but one that I can think of, Magic Johnson. He was the lone exception where he won the championship his first year. But most guys, you know, you look at them, even Jordan, even Bird, Isaiah, all those guys, they had to learn how to win, not only individually, but also as a group. So, you know, this team, it's going to take a little while, but I think they're ahead of the curve. And as long as their identity is defensively and they have enough firepower on the other end to compensate, for any other shortcomings, I think they're going to be okay. Bobcats are a good team. They're going to continue to get better.
Final game in Time Warner Arena in 2013. We'll be back in 2014 when they come back home, though. But again, exciting game tonight. Bobcats lose by 4, 88-84 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's Kenn Blankenship. I'm the coach, Dick Cox, wishing you a happy new year, and we'll be back to see you again in 2014.
Everybody. Good night, everybody.